Hey everybody. So today I'm going to be doing a video about what's in my camera bag. As a creator, I get asked a lot of questions about what kind of gear I use to make my content, so I figured I would go over it. So for starters, my main camera body is the Sony a7R III. It's a full-frame camera, 42 megapixels, 4K video, really good for a lot of different things. On it, my main lens that I almost never take off, I use this for just about everything, is the Sony FE 85mm f1.8. It's really good for portraits and video. For other lenses, I've got the Zeiss Batis 25f2. I really like this lens for shooting video. F2 gives you a nice shallow depth of field. I don't really love it for portraits, but it's good in low light, so I do use it a lot for concert photography. Moving on, I've got the Zeiss Batis 16-35 f4. I use this for a lot of daytime portraiture or video. It's really good for vlogging because at 16mm on a full-frame camera, it is very wide, so it's really good if you need to point the camera at yourself. And then I've got my nifty 50. This is the FE 50mm f1.8. This tends to be a go-to in a lot of situations. In my opinion, the FE lens, the autofocus is a little slow and it is noisy, so I don't use it a lot for vlogging. And I like to keep a couple of flashes in my bag, just in case. You never know. These are the Yongnuo YN560s. I've got the wireless flash trigger in here as well. When I'm doing portraits, I do like to use a lot of off-camera flash, and sometimes when I'm doing concert photography, it is a little too dark, so I do have to throw on a speed light. And I've got my drone. This is the DJI Mavic 2 Pro. You know, this one was a good bang for the buck. The Mavic 3 just came out. I bought this used probably about a year ago now. I like to keep a little Manfrotto, little travel tripod on here. It's really good if I'm vlogging. It's got the little ball head on it. This is really good for a lot of different applications, for low angles, or if I just want to film myself, or again, like I said, vlogging, you can hold it out. Got a Sony microphone. It's not my favorite microphone, but the thing I like most about it is that it just fits into the hot shoe. It's got a bunch of different settings on it. You can change the polar pattern, the filters, can automatically adjust the volume, but again, I really only use it because I don't need any cables. I can just put it on the hot shoe and run with it. And the controller for the Mavic 2 folds up nice and small, just like the drone does. So you can charge your phone with it too while you're flying, which is great. My wireless flash trigger just matches my wireless flashes. Broke the battery door, so I just put a little piece of gaff tape on there to hold that on. And I've got a little field recorder. This is the Tascam DR100 MK2. I've had this for a little while, so it's a little beat up, but it does still work. This is really cool because it gives you XLR inputs as well as having two stereo condenser mics on the top. Always good to have in a pinch, so if I need to plug in any different kinds of microphones other than the microphone on my camera, I can just record my audio right to an SD card and have that as a separate file. I've got a Varial ND filter, which this one actually fits on two of my lenses. It fits on the 85 and my Zeiss 25, which are the lenses I use the most, so I tend to just carry this one on me. Having the Varial ND is nice because it gives me a few different stops of coverage, so I don't have to carry around several ND filters with me. Moving on to more ND filters, I've got the Pro Mist filters for my Mavic 2. All of these are just a different stop of filter. It's definitely come in handy when flying a drone because I tend to find that the camera's really not as sharp as I'd like it to be unless I'm at a pretty wide aperture. So the camera itself isn't too good in low light, but it looks great during a lot of sunlight, and you slap an ND filter on it. And to go along with my flashes, I keep a couple of different flash gels. It's really good for concerts. If you end up in a situation where there's like a lot of red light or something, you can turn your flash blue to kind of balance that out. These are just two different kinds. I bought these all on Amazon. I use them for different things, and then I keep a couple of microfiber cloths in a little Ziploc bag in case I need to wipe any dust off of my lenses or anything like that. Of course, box of business cards. Can't leave home without those. I tend to do that from time to time, so found it best just to leave them in my bag. Moving on to the other side. This bag has a nice little pouch in here. I keep a couple of my iPads in the pouch for when I'm doing sound. A lot of the small clubs in Providence use different kinds of mixers that you can use an iPad for, so keep those on me so I don't forget them when I have to go to work or anything like that. Got this little filter that was given to me as a gift. This is actually used to auto white balance your camera. Every camera can set a custom white balance in a different way. I don't really use it so much anymore, so I tend to just balance off the temperature of the light, but it's really good in a low light setting or mixed light, like concerts. This is just a little SD card book. Got a whole bunch of SD cards in here for projects I'm currently working on. In this pouch, I've just got some more lens cleaning, some more cloths, some extra batteries, these are actually just some old tour passes from a tour, or a few tours that I've done that just happen to live in my bag. And on the other side of my bag, I keep a couple different things. I do tend to overpack my bag, but this bag has plenty of space for it. This was actually just given to me recently. I've been really liking it. It's called Working Hands. It's winter time now, so your hands get dry and cracked, and this is like an oil-free like lotion that works pretty well. I like to keep a wireless router in here. You never know when you get to like a hotel or something, you need to set up a network, or again, if I'm doing sound, if I need to hook up my iPads or my computer to a digital console, a bunch of different cables, accessories for the router, different USB cables for external hard drives. This is the Atomos Ninja 5. I use this for most of my video shoots. The A7 III does not completely benefit from this because the A7 III only has an 8-bit export, but it is nice to be able to record in ProRes, so definitely look into this. Helps me record all of my videos straight to an SSD instead of having to use SD cards. And for the bag itself, this is the Nomadic Peter McKinnon Signature Series. Always wanted this bag, and happy to be using it now. That about does it for what's in my camera bag.